Okay, good morning everyone. Thank you, Johannes, for asking me over here. I noticed that many other countries choose as this theme as written ink. We were boldly different and choose tattoo ink. But thank you, Johannes, about this. A couple of words, something about me first. My name is Tommi Viitala, and I want to only say that I'm not a director. I'm only normal guy with a hint of curiosity. Of course, I had little experience. I'm not so amateur what comes to advertising and creative business. I have been almost 6 years doing creative stuff and everything, but not filming. And oh hell, I don't even watch movies so much, so what do I know about them? I know that they are movie enthusiasts and everything who watch movies all the time and looking for details but I'm a hands-on guy mostly, and I want to create my own style, let's say this way. I'm a really big fan of Stanley Kubrick and Wes Anderson. I like the symmetry and details and everything of them, of their videos, and let's say that I'm not so amateur in filming. I have done a couple of tried music videos and short films with my friend, but well, let's not talk about those anymore. And I want to say about my presentation that these are only my remarks and notes what past 2 years for the next projects. And there are no technical details. I'm not so technical guy. And I think that here is a filming pros. But I hope that I can give something new for them too about it. These are only my notes and everything. But let's go back 2 years, March, and it was a boring Friday night when I was at home, and my friend Alexi called me that, hey, do you want to come and hang out with us? That we have a party at Cable Factory. Just come along, and we have this. Our friends was having a book launch party, and in that party I got that book in my hands. And I noticed that the book was screaming, moving sound and image. I was thinking about, damn, that's have to be done in film. But there was only one problem. Oh shit, how to make a movie. But I was fast learner, I would say. I was learning first I need to make a script. How do I explain to my friends and everyone what do I want? What do I storyboards and everything? And so I was learning to make some films and everything, how to make. I make a script. Then I was choosing the interviews. Here's the book. There are 32 interviews in this book. I choose 5 of them from the book and 2 new ones because we have a agreement with the publisher that if you read the book, you want to, of course, see the film. And if you see the film, you want to read the book. So vice versa is a fair deal for them too. And after 2 months from that, making a script and everything, I was presenting this script to my friends Behi and Samu, photographers. But then we noticed that, of course, we need more talents over here to get. So we asked our friends and friends of friends to just recording the sound, do the makeup, and we were lucky that we get this book author Jenny to do the interviews to that. So we got 6 persons, really small team, but really effective team. So let's go to the first phase. It was planning, of course. And there was a guideline that was reading, mostly on budget, but this was one of them, that if we are having too many choices, that could paralyze decision-making process. And in a process and production planning, I was doing first task list, scheduling, all needed papers. Of course, I was learning how to make those. And one big thing, of course, was the budget. And I was a little bit optimistic at the first phase that the budget was 500 euros. Okay, a little bit optimistic, yeah. But then we listed all the needed gears. I make the right budgeting and everything, so it a little bit raised to that 300. This was. And with my help, my friends are doing so much pro bono work here. That's why it's not so much, but for me or my friends, it was a lot. It was total count. So I was thinking, what we need. So we need filming gear, we need sound gear, we need some people, new people for here. So I list all who could help us. I list, okay, I could have a Canon for the cameras, Rajala for the gearing, makeup artist, I mean Mia could do that, sound gear transmix, I would do that. Then I list all the benefits that I could give them. So I could say that, okay, your logo will be seen on Facebook-based posters, trailers, everything. So your logo would be over there. Then I was calling to the sponsors. And there is a story about Canon when I called them and that, hey, we are making this kind of movie. Okay. They said first that we don't do any sponsorships at all. And your project is so small that we don't do that. But we can borrow you cameras if you want for the testing purposes. I was okay. So we get 3 5D and 7D cameras for our usage at all. So it was a quite good deal. And after a couple of weeks, we did have 6 partners over there. And what comes to planning, there was one big thing, location scouting. And one summer I was only cycling around the Helsinki and looking for the perfect spots and everything on there. Asking my friends that, have you seen this kind of place and everything. Of course I got help from them and I used Google Street View to find the perfect spots over here. And I have one story about birch forest that I was looking. We found a perfect birch forest. Thank you, Alexi, for spotting us for that. It was near Helsinki. We looked on the Google Street View that, oh man, that's the spot. We will go there. We will get there. But when we get there was only one little problem. There was a weed what was only 1 meter long over here. So as you can see from the Alexi standing over there. But we were lucky because Alexi was just earlier that day. He was in a hardware store buying ladders. So we put Oti on the ladders. He's over here. And here's what we see. How did it went as the As the planning, lesson learned from this planning session, first OHL hire production coordinator. Because all the arranging, all the 30 shootings, meetings with the personnel and everyone, if I hire someone, I will have a production coordinator first. With the sponsor, always go straight business and benefits. They see this as an investment, so please straight to the benefits and everything, where they can see it and everything, what you can give them. And one big thing at the first phase, believe yourself to the project. Your friends, staff, everybody, sponsors will hear from your voice and how do you act, that are you self behind of this project. So please believe that on. They will hear it soon. Next phase for film shootings when we are over there. And I used this, my guideline. I have been creative sometimes so I use a lot my intuition. I don't know anything about filming, so I used intuition over there. We did have 7 interviews over there at the end, and the first interviews was just a little bit total chaos. We were learning things and everything from the how to make and dynamics of the team. It was a little bit chaotic situation. But the rest of the interviews, 6 or 7, we were like dream team. Everything just worked. So we were fast learners on the interviews. Then we did have 16 auto shooting days. Like the OT that you see earlier was the Finland inserts. They were, let's say, 10 of those more, those kind of shootings. I wanted all the seasons to the film, spring, summer, everything. And there is one story about the winter, not earlier, that earlier winter it was, and there was only one day that there were snowing, probably good snow day. In the morning I was opening my curtains and I noticed that guys that, oh my God, it's snowing, that I called the guys right away, and after 3 hours of that we were filming in Tähtitorninmäki, our opening scene on that. So it was quite a fast action. Then we did have a slow motion scenes over there, and there is one story about Maria and our tattoo lady. You will see him a little bit later. We did go to the Andorra movie theater to shoot this slow motion scene. We reserved 3 hours for that shooting. Of course, 2 or 3 hours. It's a piece of cake and everything. No, it takes 10 hours to make. We were whole Sunday we were that shooting that scene, and here's the result of that.
Hieno, taitavasti tehty tatuointi on taidetta. Sitä ei mun mielestä voi kiistää mitenkään. Mutta kaikki tatuoinnit eivät ole taidetta. Selkeästikään. Mutta kyllä se tatuoitsijat tekee niin käsittämättä upeaa jälkeä, sit kun ne on hyviä, niin kyllä se on taidetta.
So 10 hours and that's that. Well, it was worth it, yeah. It was definitely worth it. But from the shootings, lesson learned, makeup. Don't underestimate the professional makeup, especially when the interviews they are nervous. Of course, what do I say, or what do I wear, or what do I look? So it was one boost to their self-esteem, that they noticed that, okay, I look good. Of course, they look fantastic and everything. So that was one big thing about the interviews. Just take care of the makeup for them. And then with the interview situation, I noticed that you have to ask from the staff. For me, it was good way to learn. I ask always, and then I listen to answer what they said. Then one big point was that have an argument. With my guys, the best thing for me too was learning when there was a conflict situation. Let's say that I said that I want the image like this. Then the Behi or Samu just told that no, you cannot have that. But they make a good argument on that. They said that no, there's a golden angels or something on that. Angels. Okay. So they gave me a proper argument. That was the way for me to learn this thing, best way. And what comes to the interview, always call or visit first on the site. Be personal, not be the faceless people. Don't send them emails that can we come to the interview for you. Just call them, visit if you can and everything. So it must relax those people and send questions before if you can. They can think about the answers before and everything. Small things, but good for us to know. And always in a situation like that, be on time and without any hurry. People are really excited and everything, and if your crew and you are unsure and you are too busy, they notice that, and please calm down the situation on there. There's no hurry in the interviews and anything. And the third phase was the post-production phase. And here was my guideline, because I was working with the pros. I was working with Pehi, Samu, Paolo with the sound. They were pros. And I was humble with them. Post-production was the phase that we make most of the budget savings, because we didn't get any fancy visual effects and something like that. Of course, in documentary visual effects, but sometimes you need it. And less money means more time. We were doing this as a part-time and secondary occupation, and we did have families, of course, and everything. But less money means more time. We did have, in editing phase, we did have approx 21 hours of interviews. That's quite a lot. But there was one time-saving method with that. I mean, transcriptions. It's litterointi in Finnish. And it means that every spoken sentence is written down. And while editing, I can read them and just look out the count on that and go to the right spot on the film and get that sentence from them. That was really time saver to make the transcriptions on the editing phase. And I did one interview, I did myself, transcription by myself. It takes me 2 evenings to make. But because I'm a hands-on guy, I want to try everything once by myself, then I know what it feels. But then I noticed that no, this is not my job at all, making this, no. So I noticed that Jyväskylän University, they did have this service, Litterointi-linkki, where students make this as a job. So I sent them 6 interviews, and a couple of days they sent me those text files and everything. So here they are, and they get them. So it was really time saving for me. And while editing, I can of course then read. And one big thing in post-production was of course music. Because we didn't have any budget, we used mostly license-free music. But there was times when there was a perfect spot for licensed music. I mean, we used at Rogue Shop, we were using a year ago, and a couple of bands we were using because they fitted there perfectly. So we used a little bit mix up soundtrack, mixture. And of course we first trying to find the composer for this project, but we cannot, in that budget, no way. Or 1 hour movie to find a composer who is doing it free, so it was a little bit well, it didn't suit for us. But we have a saving angel. It was Moby for us, because he's having this own service, Moby Gratis, where all his songs are license-free for personal use and without any profit. You cannot have profit if you used his music. All his songs are over there, Moby's songs. But there are 2 exceptions. First is that if you get any profit, if there's let's say that you are on film festival and you win something, you win a prize over there, then you have to contact Moby, and they will say that you have to make a donation to the humanitarian organization or some point. You have to make some kind of donation somewhere. They will say it and everything. If you make any profit, And of course, if you sell it on the TV or somewhere and you get the profit, then you have to have a normal commercial license to that song. So it's quite a fair deal from that. But in post-processing, lesson learned, always use transcriptions. That's a life-saving for the interview part. And one point was start music licensing soon as possible if you want. It could take a time, like in Workshop we did a music licensing. It could take a month or something, get the answer or the rights. And while editing for me was in dead end run, it means for me I was running was my hobby. So leave the work 1 hour, 1 week, something, and then come back to the business. You will see it totally different eyes on that. That was my key to make the cutting the interviews and everything. Of course, I was making one interview and then drop it like 1 week or something. Then I come back to the same interview. I was like, what I was thinking about it, no way. I have to cut it a new way. But that was good. But after 2 years of this kind of humppaa, as we say in Finland, it was last 2 weeks, a couple of weeks ago, the premiere were over there. We have 170 guests on the Andorra movie theater, and it was a marketing event for us. Of course, we invited all the friends and everyone over there, and it was we noticed that if it's a good movie, they will say it forward of that. So that's why it was a marketing event for us. And let's watch the...
En mä oikeastaan pelkää, että ulkonäkö sulkisi multa mitään ovia työelämässä, koska mä luotan sit siihen, että ensinnäkään mä en välttämättä halua edes tehdä sellaista työtä, missä mä en saisi näyttää itseltäni.
Eräät opettajat teki aika hyvin selväksi, että musta ei voi tulla tarjoilijaa, koska mä en voi saada seuraavaa harjoittelupaikkaa, joka se olisi sitten hienoa alakarttaravintolaa sun muuta, niin mä sitten lopetin sen koulun kesken.
Okay, as a summary, from last 2 years, for me it was 2-year film school. Other go on holidays and everything, but I make a film and I cannot be happier. And that's because my knowledge is now on totally different level what it was. I got more connections, of course, for the filming industry and everything. And always remember to be humble, passionate and determined. That was for me on this one. Failing is, of course, it's okay if you take it right way, that you haven't failed. Take it as experience. But most of all, be curious, thankful and proud what you have done. So, thanks.